Hey there, it's Amateur Mini Painter here to talk about what's going on now with Warhammer. Amazon has got exclusive rights to make a Warhammer 40k show. They are coming off of Rings of Power, which was absolute trash. I never got through the first episode. Watched the first 5 minutes, laughed at the kids throwing rocks at a boat, said it was funny enough, couldn't stop it anymore, and said it's not going to get any better. I'm also concerned Amazon also has the Fallout show coming out, but we have Henry Cavill here, who's going to star and be executive producer. It sounds a little bit better, but people remember that when The Witcher was coming out, it had Henry Cavill, and people were talking about how it's going to be lore accurate and all this stuff. It never happened. He said he would do all. He tried as best he could, and he can't. I am concerned that it's going to happen again with this show. You can't tell me otherwise. He was on The Witcher, and they screwed up the lore on that one. They're screwing up the lore with their new Blood Origins show. They're going to keep doing it. Why should we trust these people who couldn't understand how they do a show? How to do Rings of Power? How do you trust these guys? Look at this. They're talking about how great it's going to be. And of course, Cavill, we've all know he's a big Custodes guy. There's talks, there was people, other people. It's Vertigo Entertainment who's the producing company. They're the ones producing it with Amazon. Amazon's going to host it probably on Amazon Prime. You're going to have to see all this come out. We're going to learn more. We only know who the showrunner is. Don't know who's the writer. We don't know who's the director. All we know is that Henry Cavill is going to have this thing. I mean, they're talking about this thing, and my next issue, Warhammer is ultra violent. You can't get around it. There's too much ultra violence in this thing. So much. There's so much. You got corn worshippers tearing people apart, getting blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. You have Nurgle, who is an absolute play who just spreads disease. You have Slaanesh with the desire with depravity, but then we have the orcs. They just go and go. There's no stopping this thing. I don't know if this is going to be made into a good show. You can't tell me you're going to make a show about Warhammer and not expect me not to trust you guys, especially when I know that this thing is going to get bloody real fast. It's going to get bloody. There is no way they can do this thing without it being over the top violence and gore and everything. But they didn't do that with Rings of Power. They didn't go over the top because you can't really go over the top with Tolkien. And I'm going to make a good guess. It says that Cavill is going to be starring, but there's going to be they're going to have a sister battle come in and take the show. And I also want to point out Games Workshop is kind of going woke too. It doesn't seem like they are, but they are. They didn't bow down yet, but they're going to go soon or later. I mean, remember, guys, this is the same company that didn't respond to that person. I can't remember who it was who complained about how Space Marines can be females too because hormone replacement works so well now. Because all it was is that they said that Space Marines have to be biologically male at birth. And there's no word from them about that. I think I couldn't find anything about it. they have been trying to appease people. I mean, Warhammer hasn't been able to do anything good recently. I mean, they put out the Age of Darkness box set. That's great. But what about they should have been they should be working with trying to figure out how to incorporate 3D printing into their business. You hear people talk about it. I just get the SCLs. They need to figure it out. Anyway, it's nice talking to you guys. Amateur Mini Painter signing off. Follow me on Twitter, everywhere. Just like, favorite, subscribe, share this thing out.